Merhabalar, hoş geldiniz. Sunum devamı İngiliz olarak devam ediyor olacak. Bugün UCL'den Laura ve King's Çalıştanlığından Jyoti'yi ağırlıyoruz. Kendileri okullarla ilgili zamanımız kapsamında 25 dakika yarım saat kadar bir zamanımız olacak. Sunumların sonrasında sizlerden yine gelen soruları eğer chat box'a yazarsanız alıyor olacağız. Sorularınızı da mümkün mertebe cevaplıyor olacağız. Eğer daha ekstra sorularınız olursa o sunum esnasında cevap alamadığınız Akari ekibe ulaşarak yine bilgi alabilirsiniz. Sosyal medya üzerinden veya ofislerinizden de ulaşabilirsiniz. Teşekkür ederiz katıldığınız için. It's your turn, Laura.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Burhan. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. It's really, really hot here in London. It's like Istanbul weather today. It's about 34 degrees. So I'll probably keep this presentation quite short, and then I'll be passing on to my colleague Jyoti from King's College. So thank you. And also big thank you to A2 for hosting us here today. So thank you to Burhan and Melly. So my name is Laura. I'm the Senior Liaison and Recruitment Officer at UCL. Presentation is going to tell you a bit about UCL, also what we're looking for in terms of undergraduate and postgraduate applicants. And then there will be time afterwards for questions, okay? So first of all, just to start. So UCL, I'm sure most of you have probably heard of UCL. We are one of the largest universities out there. We are, in fact, the largest university in the UK now in terms of student numbers. So just some facts and figures on the screen for you there. In terms of numbers, we have something like 55,000 students. Half of those are usually graduate, the other half are undergraduate, and we're a very international institution. So nearly half of our students are from overseas, and they come from all over the world. I'm really pleased to say we're introducing more and more students from Turkey, particularly this year, last year, the last couple of years, we're seeing more and more students, particularly at undergraduate level, coming to study with us at UCL. So currently on our campus, we have something like 441 students from Turkey at undergraduate and postgraduate level. So you can see there on the screen, we have a very active Turkish society. They do all sorts of events and activities that I'm sure many of you would want to join. In terms of rankings, now, those of you eagle-eyed out there may have seen that on the last slide, there was actually a mistake. And we're really pleased to have actually very recently have increased our ranking position according to the QS World University Rankings 2027. So UCL is now equal 8th in the world with ETH Zurich. That's a movement from 9 to 8. So, you know, we're still in the top 10. We're always regarded as the top 10 institution in that respect, number 4 in the UK. But try not to get too sort of bogged down with rankings. Rankings can be quite ambiguous, and it's always a good idea to look at department rankings as well. So just moving on, a bit about UCL's history. It's a really exciting year to be joining UCL. So we're currently celebrating our 200-year birthday. We were established in 1826. And on the screen now, you can actually see an image of one of our founding fathers, or the founding father, his ideas, Sir Jeremy Bentham. So UCL was set up at a time 200 years ago when you could only study at university if you were a man, if you were Christian, and if you were very wealthy. Now UCL wanted to, Sir Jeremy Bentham, he wanted to create a university that would be open to all. So his followers and him, they decided to set up UCL. And we're really proud to be the very first university in England that's welcomed women, people from any particular religion and any social background as well. And we do have a number of bursaries and scholarships available to students, which you may also be interested in. So where are we located? So here we are in central London. This is an area called Bloomsbury. You know, I'm obviously biased, but I think this is a brilliant part of the city. It's a very central location. This area is very much the knowledge hub of London. So not only do you have UCL, but you also have other universities nearby, such as SOAS. King's College and LSE are also fairly close by as well. But you also have institutions and museums, such as the British Museum, the British Library, REBA, which is the Royal Institution of British Architects as well. We do also have another campus, so do check the prospectus. So you may actually be on our brand new campus, which is in Stratford. It's called UCL East. This campus is on the site of the Olympic Park. And this is where we have some of our newer programs, particularly those programs related to subject areas such as AI and also interdisciplinary studies, which really is a sort of a driving force within UCL right now. Also, just to add, we have the School of Management at UCL. I'm sure many of you will be interested in the programs in the School of Management. We do have our own campus as well for the School of Management at Canary Wharf, which is like the business district of London. So what do we offer at UCL now? As I mentioned, we are a massive, huge university, 55,000 students. We offer pretty much everything, I would say. In terms of undergraduate degrees, we have something like over 400 different undergraduate degrees to choose from. So everything from the sciences to arts, humanities, to law, business, and so forth. And the same with graduate programs. Now, most undergraduate degrees in the UK are going to be 3 years, but there may also be some 4-year options there that some of you might be interested in. And master's programs tend to be just 1 year, okay? But what we've seen, the trend very much from Turkey, I'm sure many of you in the audience are interested in business management related programs. For example, we have a brand new BSc in marketing, which is starting in 2027, which some of you may be interested in applying to next year. One thing that we do at UCL is once you're a student here, we do always give students the opportunity to study abroad as part of their degree. So at UCL, we link up with lots of different institutions around the world of a similar ranking, a similar standard. So once you're at UCL, you might have the chance to perhaps study for a semester abroad in another country. So we have links with NYU and Columbia, for example, in the US, the Sorbonne in Paris, and other universities as well around the world. So this is something that you can perhaps undertake as being a student at UCL. It gives you another opportunity to experience studying overseas. Just touching upon some of our Nobel Prize winners, we've had a total of 33 since 1901, so that's pretty impressive. Most recently, pioneers of AI, Geoffrey Hinton and Demis Hassabis, they both taught at UCL, so we're very proud to have had them both as part of the UCL community, both awarded Nobel Prizes in 2024, which I'm sure many of you are aware of. And just some images there of our students. So I mentioned to you the new campus, UCL East, where we have an AI hub, media lab. We also have robotic engineering on this particular campus. So the image there in the bottom left-hand screen, you can see the robotic dog, which wanders around the campus. Some other images there, Formula One. So our mechanical engineering students, you can see the top right-hand corner. So we do have an internship available for several lucky students within the mechanical engineering department to work at F1 Formula One in England for a particular period. So we've had that link for a number of years. And the image in the middle you can see at the bottom, that's our brand new student centre. Actually, it's not that new anymore. It's probably about 5 years old. But you will certainly become very familiar with this space. This is where all of our student support services are located. And just some of our students out and about. Hopefully that will be you one day, graduating from UCL in the top right-hand corner. Bottom middle image, you can see some of our student ambassadors. So we do give students the opportunity to work alongside their studies. It's quite popular now for international students to work as part of their studies in the UK. You can work 20 hours per week on your visa, full-time during the holidays. And we do have some jobs on campus. So that's something definitely to look into by coming to the UK. As I touched upon before, we offer lots of support services to our students. We make sure we look after you. And we definitely do think about your future career. So, many students, particularly from Turkey, they may want to stay on in the UK afterwards. And currently you can stay in the UK for 18 months on the post-study work visa. Now at UCL, we have a career service which can certainly point students in the right direction. So by being at UCL, you're going to come out with a world-class degree. Employers know UCL and they will want to work with our students. They do want to work with our students. So we run lots of job fairs on our campus throughout the entire year that you can attend. There'll also be workshops such as how to write a CV, how to perform an interviews. All that advice and support is there for you to get hold of. We also have the Hatchery at UCL. So this is an entrepreneurship setup. Now, many students at UCL do go on to start up their own business, and there is funding available for students. And this just gives you an idea of some of the companies that our students have gone on to work for. Okay. Again, lots of different societies, I'm sure many of you are familiar with, and sports clubs as well. So lots to get involved in at UCL. Just touching upon accommodation, we do guarantee accommodation for all of our first year students. And just for those of you who were perhaps looking at the fees, on average, most of our programs are around £39,000. There is a scholarship, it's called the Global Scholarship, but it's based on financial need. But I can put that in the chat later on. So just very briefly, what are we looking for? Now, UCL is a very competitive university. You need to have top grades to be considered. So most programs are looking for 38, 39 in the IB. If you're applying to us with APs, you would need at least 5. Fives. The number depends on which specific program you apply to. Now, from Turkey, we don't take the high school diploma, the MEB high school diploma for direct entry. So you would need to have the IB or APs and an AP and SAT. We do also have a foundation program. So if you're interested in the foundation program at UCL, that's something you can perhaps ask me about in the questions section. So there are also some admissions tests that you may need to take. So just be aware of that when you're looking at our different programs. You might be familiar already with the ESAT or the TMUA or the TARA test. These will form a big part of our decision-making process. And the personal statement is key. So you need to make sure you're writing a very focused personal statement detailing why you want to study that particular program, which I'm sure many of you in the audience are already familiar with, but this will play a big part in our decision-making. Now, for those of you who are at master's level in the audience, we accept applications on a rolling basis.
Laura, I think you are muted. You're muted.
I'm muted.
Okay.
Minimum score 3.0 out of 4. So it really does just depend on what program you apply for. Okay, I'm just conscious of time. So you can ask me questions about the application. Hold on. I can't seem to move forward.
We can hear.
Yes, and also for the postgraduate application, you will also need to write a personal statement as well, detailing why you want to study the program. But we can perhaps talk about that later in the questions session. I want to make sure Kings have enough time. Okay, so on that note, I'm going to stop my presentation and pass you on to Jyoti from Kings. Okay, thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks so much, Laura.
Hello, everyone. I'll just quickly try and share my presentation with you. Someone can just give me a thumbs up that they can see. Perfect. Okay. There we go. Hi everyone. My name is Jyoti. I'm a student recruitment officer here at King's, and today I'm just going to tell you a little bit more. It's always harder to go after London University because we have so many similarities. But just to quickly start, we're a university that was founded in 1829, so it's been around for quite a while. We're the fourth oldest university in England. We are also a Russell Group University, and we're one of the most centrally located universities in London. We've got 5 campuses that are dotted around the city, so we've got an ideal location. In terms of rankings, this has to be updated, but last year we were ranked 31st in the world and 5th in the UK. We also have quite a large student population, 42,000 students. of which about 18,000 are international students, and they come from more than 190 countries, including also a growing number of Turkish students. Got 9 faculties across these 5 different campuses that I'm going to show you in a moment. And we offer more than 185 different courses across the university. So this is a lovely map of London, and you can see the red numbered boxes, which show you all the different campuses and buildings we've got that are run or that are part of King's. And you can also see some of the big landmarks that you must recognize by knowing London, whether that's the Big Ben and the House of Parliament by B, or number C, which is the London Eye, J, the Shard. So you can see we've got locations all over the city. And if you did choose to study with King's, then you would be right in the center of it all. So our main campus is Strand Campus, and it's home to the arts and humanities, natural sciences, social sciences, public policy, also a King's Foundation program and a business. We also have our on-campus doctors, the student union, and many other facilities on this campus. Then we've got our Guy's campus, which is home to the life sciences and medicine, the dental institution, psychiatry, psychology, and neuroscience. And we're also right next door to Guy's Hospital, which allows our students to have access to during their studies with us. Then we've also got one of our very lovely libraries, which is the Lawn Library. It was constructed in 1851. So the iconic reading room, which kind of gives you the Harry Potter feeling. But all students get access to all of these. So unlike some other universities, we also have quite a few campuses, as I mentioned. So we are considered a city university, but by no means does that mean that you are kind of removed or you don't get access to the other buildings or campuses. Each of our campuses are kind of mini campuses within themselves, and they all have their own lecture spaces, study spaces, places for you to socialize and, kind of study and have fun as well. In terms of studying in the classroom, we have many kind of nice facilities for you to get access to as a student, whether that is the London Met Science, anti-doping labs. We've got a rooftop observatory and telescope for our physics students. We've got a Bloomberg terminals, which is just outside this room, actually, where I'm sitting, with a virtual trading room. So for those students that are interested in trading, finance, things like this, they can actually, get experience for this as well. And we've got a mock routing court, so for small students as well. And then we've got many dissection rooms and dissection tables for our students interested in that. In terms of the food and social spaces, we've got campus cafes, restaurants, the multi-purpose spaces, as I mentioned, and as well as some of the gyms that are part of our campuses. In terms of London, of course, if you did choose to come and study at King's or at UCL or any other London university, we do have 40 different universities in London. So you do get access to this regardless of what university you go to. But in terms of culture, whether it's museums and galleries, lots of those are free in London. Concert theatres, high street, vintage shopping, lots of sporting events take place here. In terms of food, one thing I always like to tell students is there's actually someone on social media that runs an account where they're traveling the world without leaving London. And at the moment, they're on country number 58 of different cuisines. They're trying different restaurants around London. So if you did come to London, there's all these excellent things that you get access to. And finally, of course, the transport links that are very good, whether that is flying back home to Turkey, whether you need to visit somewhere in Europe, within London, or also within the UK, you've got excellent transport links as well. In terms of the academic opportunities, so we, as I mentioned, have 9 different faculties, which are just mentioned here. So regardless of what you'd like to study, we should hopefully have a course for everyone. This is just a quick overview of the main degree programs that we offer, but this is by no means the 185 different courses that I mentioned. There's one of our courses you can study between 2 different faculties. So for example, particular popular one is criminology and law, where our psychology department and our law department work together and deliver an excellent piece. There's many different options for you to consider. In terms of rankings, we're very proud to have some excellent rankings as well for our subject. And what I always tell students as well is when they're doing their research, rather than just looking at the university rankings, it's also very important to look at the subject rankings, because that can often make or break your experience studying at a university. So when you do your research, do always make sure that for your subject ranking, you do also look at that. In terms of entry requirements, we have specifically mentioned here are A-level IB or AP entry requirements, but we do also have our requirements for the Turkish high school diploma mentioned on the website. Generally, for the main degrees, you can't enter with just the Turkish high school diploma, but we do have a foundation program, which I will tell you in a moment. Another fun thing as well is, of course, we have a study abroad opportunities at King's as well. So we have about over 150 different university partnerships, and you also get access to those if you choose to do a study abroad or some school experience. In terms of careers and mobility, our career team will support you up to 2 years after you graduate, but also while you're studying with us, whether you're looking for an internship or work experience, you're looking for placements as part of your list, so we support you all the way through. And they also do lots of workshops, fairs where companies come in, and they will do one-to-one sessions where they, for example, do a mock interview with you, or they will go through your application with you. There's lots of support available there to help you either kind of finding an opportunity while you're studying with us, or also ask you to graduate. Then, as I mentioned, the King's Foundation program is one of our big growing options for students as well. We had over 900 foundation students last year. It's a one-year academic program where you kind of get brought up to the same level of study as those students that take A-levels or IB. In terms of the entry requirements, or actually depends on the entry requirements, in terms of the different pathways, King splits up the International Foundation into 4 different pathways. So depending on which pathway you wish to take, we choose one pathway and then studies a specific course within that pathway. Each of them will be mentioned on our website, and they will also tell you which degree programs you can proceed on to. Please do note that for some of the degrees, you no longer have a guaranteed entry, so you do still need to apply directly to the university while you're doing the course, but the university will support you all the way through. In terms of the entry requirements, so for the Turkish high school diploma, I can check afterwards, I'll do the Q&A section, and we can give you particular entry requirements for specific courses as well. Another thing that we always like to tell students about as well is the pre-university summer school that we have on offer. So for students aged between 16 and 17 who are considering applying for university, they can come to London for a week up to 3 weeks long and get a first-hand insight into what it would be like to study a degree in London and at King's. We have lots of different options that you can take, and there is more information on our website. And again, I can answer some more questions about this after I finish this presentation and go into the Q&A section. In terms of some other support and things and opportunities you have at King's, we have more than 400 clubs and societies, with the King's having the oldest student union in London. We've been around for a long time, so there's many options. And this gives you just a quick overview of what we have on offer as well. So we do have a very big and popular Turkish society, but we also have lots of academic, art, social activism, and special interest societies as well. And then we also do have 70 sporting societies. So whether that is playing rugby, golf, swimming, there's something for everyone. In terms of other support that's available, we do have just listed here all of these excellent support opportunities available for students. So whether that is for international students coming over to the UK and needing help to settle in, disability, neurodiversity. I always use myself as an example. When I was a student, I had an assessment done and I was given extra support, such as extra time, a free printer, and a laptop. So if you need any support, the university is more than happy to support you through this as well. In terms of accommodation, where we do have 5 different campuses, unfortunately, none of our campuses have accommodation kind of attached to it, except for one. So we do have 14 accommodation sites dotted around the city as well. And for first-year students, so long as they pick King's as their number one firm choice, they will have guaranteed accommodation as well. And just last bits from me. So after today, if you wanted to find out more, we've got something called UniBuddy, where you can reach out to current students and staff members, and you can ask them any questions you have, whether that is how to write a personal statement, your student life question about studying in London, and also for specific questions, they're more than happy to help you. If you are planning to apply for us and you'd like to come and find out more, we do have in-person open days taking place. Got one this weekend, which might be a bit short notice, but we do have 2 more over the summer that you could come and attend. Otherwise, for those where it's not possible to come, we do also have on-demand open days where you can access all the recordings of the most recent virtual events online 24/7. So anyone that is interested, there is a QR code there. You can scan this, or if you just Google King's College On Demand Open Days, they will also Finally, if you ever find yourself in London and you would like to visit one of our campuses, we do offer campus tours 3 days a week. So if you do know you're coming, try and book onto them a bit earlier because they do usually sell out. But if you have, if you're around, then feel free to come and visit us. And that brings me to the end of our presentation. If you have any emails after today, feel free to email us on europe.acl.ac.uk. I think we have a Q&A section now, so we can answer some of the questions there.
Thank you so much, Jyoti, for the kind presentation. It was really good, great, and straightforward. And I just received one quick question in the inbox, and I'd like to ask you both, actually. And as the students have taken the university entrance exam in Turkey, and still they're in the point of decision making, and I have one question and asking if it's still possible to apply for fall 2026.
I could maybe start first. So if someone has missed the UCAS main deadlines, which happened in January, so I believe UCL as well, we do have something called clearing. So if the student has just received their results, they can go through the clearing process where most universities, any courses that still have availability, of course, with universities like King's and UCL, where we are very popular and many of our courses fill up, we still have a small selection of courses that are available. The student can apply through clearing. I don't have the list with me today, but we do have it somewhere advertised on the website. So it's still very much possible. It might just be that if they have a particular course that they were interested in, if it's filled, then it does mean they wouldn't be able to enter. And there is still some options available. Otherwise, probably the best advice would be to apply for next year entry so they can study the course they desire.
Thank you so much, Jyoti.
Yeah, if I could just add to that from our perspective as well, from UCL. So, I mean, to be honest, most students are going to apply within the UCAS deadline, which is January. So, there will be some courses at UCL open for clearing, but not that many. And, those very popular programs such as economics, mechanical engineering, electronic engineering, it's highly unlikely that they'd be open. And most of the, clearing will start on the 13th of August. So in some, there are earlier options for international students to apply. But you may not get a response from the team, for example, until like the end of August as to whether you've been successful or not. So that's just something to be aware of, depending on which university.
Thank you so much, Laura. There is a question in the chat box. I'll answer that one as we just actually need to switch to the US presentation. And it's a question from Khalil asking about a kind of chance to without university, which means without tuition. I think it's not 100% possible, but you can go and check the scholarship information on each school's website. Thank you so much, Jyoti. Thanks so much, Laura, for your time. I know it has been kind of quick, but we'll make sure to be doing ongoing webinars soon. And thank you so much, everyone, for attending. And we have the next US webinar, and you can use the Zoom links that has been shared with you. Bir sonraki programda Amerika ile ilgili eğitim programı webinarı var. Sizlere paylaşılan Zoom link üzerinden yine katılabilirsiniz. Teşekkür ederiz. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye, everyone. See you. Bye. Bye, Jyoti.
Bye.